See, I had a professor who used to just come into the class. She used to walk into the class, not doing justice to the work. So I always wanted to speak about this. And sometimes when it comes to higher levels of education, people think that you can just leave the students as they are. It's happening on YouTube now, when trainers criticize each other, showing the clipping of another person to gain for every views. Sentence and for every word, very good, very nice. Compare to and compare with. Which one is correct? Are they the same? How do we use it? I'll elaborate on the difference between these two usages, but before that, everything is not just about language. It's about what you are made of and what you really can do in life. So I will be elaborating on the mindset created by some of the YouTubers today. English is a tough language to learn. In fact, they make it more tough through their videos and through the wrong guidelines. If you're given wrong directions and wrong guidelines, it becomes even more tough. There's no doubt about that. Before we go deep into today's topic, this is Renee Rose Matthew. I'm a self-taught certified tutor and author, and I've been a language trainer for 6 to 7 years. I've got experience in training teachers and also dealing with students of different levels. And what I would like to share with you is not about teaching. I'm not teaching anything here. It's about sharing the guidelines, because when you are an adult learner, you can learn a lot of things on your own. Even if you're a child, you can get into the habit of self-learning. We have been comparing a lot of things. What is this compare to and compare with? I think as a society, it's a duty of the society sometimes to instill all these things in our mind. Sometimes it happens at home, within the families, and also at times when you go to school, teachers compare. And today sometimes it's very sad to see, it's pathetic in fact, to see people giving importance to only intellectual achievement and not the other facets of development. Now I'll go deep into this. So before I delve into the deepest part of today's topic, let me read something to you, and that is from this book. Of course, I'm not going to do any book review here, but you need to listen to this. When students feel safe, the regions of the brain for language thinking and reasoning are enhanced. I'm not telling all these things, it's communicated through this book, and he has been into counseling and treating people, so medical expert with a lot of aspects, who has been going through a lot of turmoils in life. Now, when it comes to the comfort zone, it's not about feeling bad and then being safe with what you're doing in life. So here the author is trying to tell you that when you don't feel calm, when you don't experience that stability, you may not have the trigger to the spark. The scintillating effect will not be felt when you have to really develop the language. It will not come from within. That's what the author is trying to tell you. So students, children, he's speaking about students here, but I feel it's applicable even to adults. You have to be calm. You can't give up on things saying, I'm doing a lot of things, but not anything that I can visibly see. I cannot experience anything. I feel I'm not developing. I've heard people saying that I'm so low, I'm so down, I'm not happy with my English language journey, and at times also I feel that I'm doing something useless. If you feel that way, just introspect. It could be the methods that you're using. It could also be that you're not putting in a lot of effort. The third possibility could be because of the training platform, the trainer, the mentor, or the speaking platform that you're a part of. Completely, we cannot put the blame on anyone, but partially it's what you have been doing. So you need to understand that nothing can be changed until it is faced. Until you experience something, how can you keep deteriorating or even degrading yourself? Sometimes people end up degrading themselves, debasing others and abasing themselves, saying that I cannot do this. I've spoken about this at length through many other videos, but I feel it's important to reiterate on these aspects. So we have been taught to compare ourselves to other people. It's good to compare yourselves with other people. Now what's the difference? See, as a society, we end up comparing one person to another person. mostly when we want to try and find out the differences, assuming that they both belong to the same level. That's when we use the word compare to. Compare with is used when you know that there is some difference, when they are not of the same level. When you really want to delineate, that is, find out, trace the differences and the similarities. So if I say you shouldn't compare your child to another child, you're assuming that they belong to the same level, but you're trying to find out the difference. And sometimes some similarities also, not for the betterment. It's only to compare to and find out the differences, assuming that they're in the same level, they're at the same level of learning and skill development. But comparison with could be for your betterment. That is, you're trying to spot the difference and the similarities and try to improve yourself, because when you do that, you will be able to know where you stand. And when you're enrolled in any platform or when you're into a learning journey, you have to compare yourself, your progress, with the previous semester or the previous month. That's good, right? Or you can also compare yourself with other people, not at the competition phase, but just to keep a track of what you've been doing with your life, money, and also energy. So I'll just share my experience. Like, I have seen English professors working with the English department, because I began my journey as an English professor. So I've seen the way they operate. English literature is the crude form of language, yet the most beautiful aspect. So they teach you about life, they teach you not just about authors and some essays or something about the language, but of course I learned about the evolution of language and other aspects. So if you have done English literature, you will know what I'm really speaking about. But working with an English department really taught me a lot of things. So at times, some professors are very good with comparison. They compare people, all the people around, to many others, whereas they also compare people with. So sometimes it's healthy and sometimes it's definitely unhealthy. So when it comes to the English department, why I chose English department is because there you learn about life. Despite learning about life, teachers, educational institutions, and even professors go to the extent of comparing the students. It's sad, as I told you, that they focus only on the intellectual achievement, but there are also other aspects, right? So I have seen professors always giving importance to gold medalists or people who are very verbose and even extroverts. But at the same time, I have seen introverts writing beautiful essays, being so productive with their time and also being very fruitful with the course that they're doing. But I don't know why the society finds it very difficult to encourage such people. Now, college studies always deal with the higher levels of education, and I'm not going to refrain myself from telling you that the higher levels of education really need to improve. Not just the higher level, but even the school system. But a lot of people are trying to bring about many changes. But coming to the higher levels, I feel sometimes they are not doing any justice, especially when it comes to the English department. At times I have seen professors, maybe you'll just have 2 people out of the 10 professors teaching you, just walking into the class and speaking about their life stories. Of course, we all are interested in listening to our teachers' life stories, but it should be connected somewhere to the curriculum, syllabus, or at least to a theme. See, I had a professor who used to just come into the class. She used to walk into the class, and you need to note that she used to walk into the class maybe just once in 5 days. All the remaining 4 classes she will not be present. So she'll walk into the class and then she'll speak about her traveling experience. But by the end of 45 to 50 minutes, by the end of that 1 hour that you're in the class, you don't get anything. And I used to see a lot of people struggling with the essays, struggling with the real syllabus that this professor was dealing with, and then they used to seek the help of other professors in the department, because of course they will also be able to help you. It is a collective effort. But what about this professor who is being paid by the college, not doing justice to the work? So I always want to speak about this. We all look into the qualification. Of course, they have to pass examinations, they should be qualified when it comes to higher levels of education system. But apart from the qualification, are you really passionate? Are you doing justice to the time that is spent in the class? And also, are you wasting the time of students sitting in front of you? I think that is a question that every teacher, every trainer, every mentor should answer. So I've seen this for myself, and sometimes when it comes to higher levels of education, people think that you can just leave the students as they are. See, when you don't set the environment for learning, not studying, of course you cannot teach everything when it comes to higher levels of education. Self-learning is a must, but if you don't create the environment, if students see you criticizing each other, that is happening on YouTube now, when trainers criticize each other, showing the clipping of another person to gain views, or when professors criticize each other, do you think you're creating an environment for the learners, for the students? No, never. It's more of toxicity that is being spread, and that too, it's done intentionally. Today we have schools saying that they give the best to the students. Of course, that's the aim, but I don't think they are really working on the skills. I've already done 2 videos on the English language teaching style methodology that's being practiced in schools, but everything begins with the school, in and around the premises of the school as well, because sometimes there are correspondents, principals and teachers also who compare not just children but also the adults to others, which is not healthy. I think the only thing we can do as a viewer, as a subscriber, as a learner, as a human being, is to just filter out such people. I wouldn't say ignore, because voicing your opinion is also a skill these days. You should know how to voice your opinion in the right way. That can not only change your life but also the life of many other people. So if you do it in the right way, and if you get a chance, I think it's always okay to correct others and give constructive feedback. Next point is, today we praise children. It's called praise and gems in my terms. Don't try to overload the children with gems and praises. Like, don't overdo it. They will understand. Be sincere with what you're trying to say. For every sentence and for every word, very good, very nice. I see this on different speaking platforms also. You can encourage the learner. It is important. Like, give a hint saying that you could correct, or you could just try helping them out to make a better sentence, or help them coordinate their thoughts with the language that they're trying to use. But don't overdo it, please, because loading them with all these praises and gems will definitely help them trace the language journey, and they may feel discouraged that way also. Because I have also come across learners telling me that the other teachers, the other mentors praise me so much, because when they appear for a proficiency test, they understand that they haven't reached anywhere. So try to be genuine with the praises and the gems. It's just a term here, but when it comes to children also, don't praise them always for the wrong words, the wrong sentences, and sometimes it's like praising them for only the accent. I have seen this always on YouTube and different other platforms. Help them understand the real value of developing the skills, because it's all about attitude and the mindset that you have when it comes to learning anything in life. It's not just the language. The same thing can be applied to adult learners, the teachers who are also willing to develop themselves. So there is a big and thick boundary who are willing to develop themselves. Last but not the least, today YouTubers also claim, they also say that English has been a tough journey for me. See, I'm not speaking about everyone. Even I have shared about my personal journey on my YouTube channel. But I wouldn't say it's a tough journey. What is tough? Of course, it can be a bit tough when you drive yourself out of your comfort zone, but then you will begin enjoying. If you're not enjoying, you need to check all these factors. It's right there. But today, the trend is to make you feel that it is such a tough journey when you have the access. It's to make you feel that you're not worthy of learning the language. You can spread a lot of positivity, you can motivate people, but please do it in the right way. I have seen a lot of people who are not even able to pronounce the basic words. See, even when I speak casually, I could be making mistakes. Native speakers also make mistakes, but what is our aim? To speak with minimal errors. When that's the priority, I don't think we have to sit with an elongated face and say that English is tough journey What about the beginners who are listening to you? What about the intermediate and the advanced learners, or even a child who's just wanting to listen to you in English? There is some tinge of demotivation that you are subconsciously instilling in every mind there. It's not necessary. And always, as a subscriber, as a learner, because you are here on the YouTube platform, please filter. Don't learn mistakes. When you have a conversation with people, there's a lot of tendency for you to just imbibe those errors, because human mind is very good with absorbing these errors and negativities first. You would have read about this and also heard about this, but it's your job to correct yourself. Filter the people who've got the authority to correct you, to rectify you. And constructive feedback is important, but let me come to the same point again. It's not that tough. It's not like how you think. If I can do it, if all the people can do it, you can also do it with the right methods. But if you have been at the wrong methods, nobody can help you, only you can do it. See, you will have your ups and downs. You may feel low. You could be reading maybe 10 books within a month, but then end up feeling that you haven't learned even 10 words. It doesn't mean that you are not good for anything, that all that you have been doing has gone down the drain. No, that's not the idea. I know the trend is like that today, where they make you feel suffocated, where they make you feel so conscious. You need to be cautious, not conscious, because there are people who just want to listen to you. Okay, and there are people who experience fear even when they speak in their native tongue. So if you're going to instill that consciousness, too much of consciousness, they're going to run away. Only you can help yourself with such aspects. And don't listen to people who just claim to be the best. They're also making a lot of mistakes. Whoever that be, just write it down and keep working. It's okay if you feel bad. I too feel bad at times with the journey that I'm into. But what makes me different is that I'm passionate about the language. I know that I'm in the right track. Happy learning.